In this video, we are required to find the area of the big circle and the small circle. So these two circles are inscribed inside a rectangle of length 9 and width 8. Yeah, so the triangles are both tangent to the rectangle. This one is tangent at this point, and this point. And this one is tangent at this point and at this point. And the two circles are also tangent to each other at this point. So with that information, what is the area of this circle and the area of this circle as well? So we're going to start by labeling the centers of the two circles. Let this be A, and let the center of this one be B. So let's label the rest of the other points. Let this be C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, and K. Next step is let's draw a perpendicular line from center A to point E, a vertical perpendicular line, a line that is perpendicular to JE or JD, just like this. So this is line AE, and you can notice that it's the radius of the big circle, okay? And if we were to extend this line to form a diameter, if we were to extend this line all the way, it would be diameter GE. And this GE is equals to HI because they are parallel and equal. So GE is equals to HI. So since we've been given that HI is 8, that implies that also GE, which is the diameter of the big circle, is also 8. Given that the diameter is 8, that means radius will be a half of D. So which is 8 over 2. So the radius, which is capital R of the big circle, is 4. Okay, so A up to E is 4. Now, since we know the radius, we can easily now find the area of the big circle. We know that area is pi r squared. Since the r for the big circle, we are using capital R. Then for the small circle, we shall use small r. So area is pi r squared. So this will be pi. Radius is 4, so 4 squared. Therefore, area is equals to pi. 4 squared is 16 times 16. And therefore, area is equals to 16 pi. This is in square units. So this is the area of the big circle. Now, if we are to draw a line from center A to point F, you realize that you come up with the radius still of the big circle, which we know that is 4. So that means FA is equals to 4 units. Now, since JI, we know that JI is equals to 9. Okay, it's the length of the rectangle, 9. And now we are finding out that FA, which is the radius, is equals to JE. So if FA is 4, also JE is 4. So to find the remainder of this, so JI is 9 and JE is 4. Therefore, EI will be equals to JI minus JE. Okay, which is equals to 9 minus 4, which is 5. Therefore, from this point E to this point I is 5. Next is let's also draw a vertical perpendicular line from point B to point D, from center B to D. Remember, this is a perpendicular line to this line. These lines are perpendicular due to the tangency to a circle theorem, where radius of a circle is perpendicular to the tangent to that circle. So this radius is perpendicular to this tangent. Okay, so this is also 90 degrees. So BD is the radius of the small circle. Let's call it small r. Next, let us join the centers A, B. So let's connect point A to point B. So we've connected the 2 points. Now, as you realize, from this point A to this point is the radius of the big circle, which you already know that it's 4. Okay? And from this point to this center B is the radius of the small circle, which we've called R. Therefore, line AB is equals to 4 plus R. Next step, let us draw a horizontal line from center B to meet line AE. It should be perpendicular to line AE. Just like this. So this line is perpendicular. So as you can see, we've come up with a rectangle. Okay, let me call this point L. So we've come up with a rectangle LBDE. Since this is 90 degrees, this is also 90 degrees. So as you know, all angles of a rectangle are 90 degrees. So since this is 90, this is also 90, 90, 90. Now since BD is radius R, that implies that also LE is R. Okay? And if AE is equals to 4 and LE is radius of the small circle R, that implies that AL will be equals to AE minus LE, which is 4 minus R. Therefore, from here to here is 4 minus R. Also, earlier we got that EI, because we subtracted 9 and 9 minus 4 and we got 5. So we got that EI is 5. So if EI is equals to 5, and we know that if we are to draw a line from B to point C, that would also be radius R. And BC is equals to DI. So that means also DI is R. And if EI is 5 and DI is R, that implies that ED will be equals to EI minus DI. So it will be 5 minus R. Therefore, ED is 5 minus R. And ED is equals to LB. So also this is 5 minus R. So now let us focus on triangle ALB. This one here. Okay. This AB is 4 plus R. This AL is 4 minus R. And LB is 5 minus R. This is 90 degrees. As you can see, it's a right angled triangle. So we're going to use Pythagoras theorem to solve. So we know that Pythagoras theorem is A squared plus B squared is equals to C squared. This is our A, this is our B, and this is our hypotenuse C. So A is 5 minus R, so this is squared, plus 4 minus R squared is equals to 4 plus R squared. Now, from these identities of A plus B squared, this is equals to A squared plus 2AB plus B squared. Also, A minus B squared is equals to A squared minus 2AB plus B squared. Okay, so this one here, following this here will become 25 minus 10R plus R squared. Then this one here will be 16 minus 8R plus R squared. Then this one here will be 16 plus 8r plus r squared. Okay, as you can see, if this r comes this side, it will cancel with this 8r, no, 16, we have plus 16 plus 16. If this crosses, it will cancel out with this. Okay, so if I'm to rearrange, I'll have r squared minus, so if this 8r comes this side, you shall have minus 10r minus 8r, which gives us minus 18r, then plus 25. This is equals to, so we have minus 10r minus 8r. If you add that 2, you get minus 18r. Then you have plus this 25 is equals to, here we're left with 8r. So we bring this side. So we shall have r squared minus 18r. When this crosses, it becomes minus 8r plus 25 is equals to 0. So r squared minus 26r plus 25 is equals to 0. As you can see, now we have a quadratic equation where our a is 1, b is negative 26, and c is 25. Okay, so we're going to solve using the quadratic formula. R will be equals to minus b plus or minus root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. So R is equals to minus negative 26 plus or minus, b is minus 26, so squared minus, so minus 4 into 1 into 25. This is all over 2 times 1. So R is equals to 26 plus or minus negative 26 times negative 26 gives us positive 676, minus 4 times 1 is 4, 4 times 25 is 100. So minus 100 over 2 times 1 is 2. So R is equals to 26 plus or minus root of 576 over 2. So we shall have R being equals to 26 plus or minus square root of 576 is 24. Okay, so this over 2. So we shall have two options. R will be equals to 26 plus 24 over 2, or R will be equals to 26 minus 24 over 2. So in this case, 26 plus 24 gives us 50. So 50 over 2, or 26 minus 24 gives us 2. So 2 over 2. For this case, 50, we shall have 50 by 2 gives us 25, or 2 by 2 gives us 1. So we have two possible values of R, 25 and 1, but both cannot be correct. It's only 1. So let's say we consider R radius as 25. ED is 5 minus R. Okay? And we've got R as 25. So 5 minus 25, this gives us negative 20. This cannot be possible because we cannot, ED is distance, it cannot be negative. Therefore, we reject this solution of R is equals to 25 and accept R is equals to 1. Therefore, we've concluded that our radius of the small circle is 1. Now that we've found the radius of the small circle, we can now find its area. Area is equals to pi r squared. So area is pi times radius 1. So 1 squared, and therefore this is equals to pi. 1 squared is 1. So we shall just have 1 times pi is pi. So area is pi square units. Therefore, we've been able to find the area of the big circle and area of the small circle. area of big circle and area of small. For the big circle, we got its area as 16 pi square units. For the small circle, we've got it as pi square units. So these are our answers. Thank you so much for watching. Kindly subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so yet. Like this video if you enjoyed it by giving it a thumbs up. Comment your thoughts about the video, or if you have alternative approaches, you can comment them down below. Thank you so much. Let's meet in the next video.